I need you to zoom in on that thing. That smells over here. You don't want to do it.
This is mine over there. The point to what
That's
color?
like why is it so small?
Every size of it? Maybe it's huge.
No,
Oh,
that's
the golden, that's tiny, bro.
that tiny.
Okay, that looks big. That looks tiny. That is phenomenal.
That's huge, man.
Yeah. That he's above average. I'm kidding. No, I'm sorry. This thing, bro, it's supposed to go. No.
Buddy. Yo, you're right. It's not looking at it. Not that looking at it.
Is it your pencil?
That's what I mean. And like, what if the thickness to like length, this looks just awful though. It looks awful. The thickness to the length.
This is how it is. And where does my fucking thing goes up? Okay, it goes up like that. Goes right there. And it goes down here. From here, it enters into here. Ooh, okay. So it goes from there and enters right here. Why the fuck does it go all the way up here like this? What's the fucking purpose? And you have the fucking urine coming here and you have this coming here. They're just touching.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Okay, y'all set and ready? Here we go. Okay, let's
I'm gonna record it in
start
between.
with the male reproductive tract. Make our way through.
Bro, what the fuck?
That's interesting.
Okay,
Oh, you look
so
like you
when
look
you
like
consider the male reproductive tract, and these slides, you have these slides already on canvas for you.
Oh,
okay?
finally.
They've been up there for a while, so I hope you had a chance to look at them. So when it comes to the male reproductive
Is this
tract,
really
we're
good?
talking about the part of the male anatomy that is producing
like
gametes.
chemistry.
For male, those are the sperm cells. For female, those are the eggs. Not only producing gametes, but producing the products that nourish and take care of the gametes. And then the parts of the anatomy that are gonna transport the gametes from inside of the body to out. Okay? The structures that we're gonna consider here are the testes, which are the male gonads. And then the penis, and then the reproductive tract itself consists of the epididymis, the vas deferens, also called the ductus
Oh, we're
deferens.
autistic.
So I'll probably interchange those words. The ejaculatory duct, and then the urethra that we saw in the urinary system. And then there are accessory glands that we've seen across a lot of our systems and tracts. There are accessory glands that contribute their products into these tracts in the same place here. Here we're gonna see the seminal gland, the prostate gland, and the ovourethral gland. Okay, so here we are at the male reproductive tract, where the gonad is the testes. And from the testes, or inside of the testes, is where we're gonna have the sperm cells being made in what are called the seminiferous tubules. Those will then enter into the epididymis, this way actually, into the epididymis, where they'll be stored and also become mobile. And this is where sperm cells are ejaculated from, the epididymis, where they'll then enter into the vas deferens and travel and travel and travel. And this vas deferens goes all the way behind, up into the, travels behind the bladder and meets up with the seminal vesicle. And together, the vas deferens and the seminal vesicle converge to create the ejaculatory duct that enters into the prostate gland. We also have the prostatic urethra here in the prostate gland. Sperm will continue to travel, now with the seminal vesicle contributing its products. So now we're starting to mix the sperm cells with particular secretions from accessory glands, and that is creating semen. And semen will travel through the urethra and out of the penis. Okay, so on our model, we have the penis, track through the penis is the penile or spongy urethra. The head of the penis is called the glans penis. And then the gonad, the male gonad is the testes. So find these structures.
Alright, bro, let's get to work.
And then the skin that holds the testes, that encases the testes, is the scrotum.
Scrotum.
Find those structures.
Testing
This
is the
model is different from
epiglottis.
this, your model, so take lots of pictures of your model, and then use this picture at home and your textbook pictures to then label up the pictures of the model that you take.
Yeah, we need to record this.
Lots of pictures, yeah.
There was no slides after digestive being posted.
Really?
Yeah.
Penile.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I didn't see urinary either online.
Anything after digestive wasn't posted.
This is the testes.
Stuff has been
Oh,
up here for a
scrotum was
while.
where? Where's the scrotum?
Balls man.
The ball side.
Yeah. No.
Okay. I want to do that.
Done. Look key, bro. I'm just being honest. As long as I have a cheat sheet, I can identify. Someone made this fit. What the fuck?
Do you even have the functions of it all?
What?
Do you even have the functions of everything?
Bro, whatever on the slides, I'm writing down.
You aren't gonna fit everything on the slides.
There's no way.
Like that, there's no way.
Bro, didn't we do that last time?
Yeah, but this
No,
is like
this is six
that's triple.
chapters, but-
It's like triple the slides that last one had.
And then the one of the census was like basically 3.
Bro, last
It's
time.
3 chapters,
Okay.
right?
Can you just
It was
record the
more
models?
slides,
Like
okay?
you just like
Okay.
holding them and
Second
going through
exam
them.
had more shit, right?
I'm I'll have to do that later.
Second exam
I already did.
had double the amount of stuff that third one had. The second one. I was able to fill that. Now with this one, I was able to fit all the stuff on the slides. It's just I had the base for lab. Now for
Wait,
this
was
one,
that
I'm
seriously
skipping the
what?
clinical trials.
Wait, was that it? Was that literally it?
No, because I said about the slides, not English.
And also,
No,
I'm
I
skipping
thought about
clinical
the-
trial because on this one, there's a shit ton of clinical trials. If that's based
No,
on
you're not
clinical
hearing me out
trial.
right now.
And
I'm
then I want to erase the clinical trial and put the lab stuff after. That's the plan.
You're not hearing me out. I'm saying, was that literally it for the meal?
Yeah.
I think we're done with that.
Yeah.
There's no way. No.
No, she trying to get it up because there's a bunch of stuff on there.
Oh.
She's right now uploading the slides and
Yeah.
everything.
Okey-doke.
No, but do you think this is that it? No, there's a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
I thought we were
Like,
gonna
look,
do that.
you have all
So you
this
see
stuff.
those
you have this
structures?
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Scrotum, glans, penis.
Was this? Is this the scrotum?
That's the scrotum.
What's this part?
We're gonna get to that.
Oh, okay.
And then you're gonna have all
This
the
was
vein
the
artery right there.
testes, right?
That's inside of the testes, and we're gonna get inside of there and look at the seminiferous tubules. And then you see the penile urethra. That's what travels through the penis.
And you have the spongy urethra.
Yeah.
Is that the
And
same
you have
thing?
gland.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the spongy urethra or is this the spongy urethra? Like
inside.
I call it. Oh, okay.
And then this is something
The urine
else.
will travel out of, as well as sperm.
Oh, okay.
And then you have all this stuff.
So we have this already.
It's up now.
How many slides? How many? Somebody, can you check the email?
This is low key disrespectful though. Like, you know how I felt? Like I told him about this, but like knowing the last page of my notebook when I flipped the page is a giant dick. I felt so
And
bad.
then can you check if there's any other slides? Like,
There is one more urinary.
Okay, now we're gonna finish this recording.
Urinary has 105.
Yeah, well, we're gonna be able to fit the whole thing. No, because in reality, the first one only had 40 something pages. Okay, like you have a bunch of folders, and I didn't put photos. I just wrote just information.
Okay, let's keep going.
Suspensory ligaments, ciliary process, orado serrado. All these three are the ciliary body.
There are now 2,919 billionaires in the
So
world.
on our list,
I'm gonna be
on
honest.
our list, we see the glans penis, the penile urethra, that better be on our list, maybe it is not. The spongy is also the penile urethra, it's also called the spongy urethra, interchangeable. You see the testes, singular is testis, and the scrotum. And the ductus deferens.
Dust is different.
And the epididymis as well. On your model, I don't really like the way that colored.
Yeah, we're gonna stay for the second lab and just make a better recording. Unless you have your lab book, right?
What level?
No, your laptop. And you could go on this right now, I guess.
Wow, that's just my phone. That's the
Oh, yeah,
issue.
What's the, this is the glans penis.
Oh, also the guts.
Sapien.
This is the penis. This is the penis. This is the penile spongy urethra. What is that?
Bro, that girl got the highest in this class.
That is vast
Ugly girl.
difference.
Yeah, how?
And in the second highest barely has a 90.
Was it at the top? Because there you're gonna see
She
that.
probably got
epididymis. So that would be the
This is
epididymis.
the testes.
And then the vas deferens.
Do you have erectile dysfunction?
This is the scrotum. Bro, what is this?
Okay,
So
here we
this is the
go.
ductus vas
Okay.
deferens.
So the job of the testis is to produce sperm, right? And again, the scrotum, find the scrotum, that tissue, that outer layer of tissue that holds the testes. And the scrotum works to
Depends on
either
experience.
raise or lower the testes
what did I do?
in order for the testes to remain
I
at
left
the
Timmy
body
Jr. in the
temperature, at a
house.
temperature that's a few degrees lower than body temperature. So the sperm, in order to be healthy, needs to be at a lower temperature than body temperature. So the testes are lifted and lowered in order to regulate the temperature, so the sperm are happy and healthy. And
This is why
there
I
are
have
muscles there that will contract in
air
order to pull the
circulation.
scrotum up, elevated or lower. During development, the testes actually begin up in the abdominal cavity, like where a developing female's ovaries would be. And actually, at some point early on in development in utero, the first few weeks, you can't tell a female from a male. They all look the same. And then testosterone kicks in, and a fetus begins to develop the male characteristics. And the testes, as they develop, will drop out of the abdominal cavity and into the scrotum. And so here we are, there's the testis. The outer tissue is the scrotum. And we're gonna see that the testis has different layers. Different tunics, different layers.
You know, that looks weird.
The layers are the tunica vaginalis,
Yeah.
which is on our list, and the tunica albuginea. So the tunica vaginalis is a outer serous membrane, so secretes serous fluid in order to reduce friction during a movement. The tunica albuginea is the inner fibrous lining covering the testes. So that's on the lid to that model, the white covering the testes, that is the tunica albuginea. Yes.
I can't sit.
So that picture of the lid, and that white covering the testes is the tunica albuginea.
It's for a grade,
Oh,
final
yes,
grade.
that represents the tunica albuginea, the white covering, yeah.
Oh, this one.
Oh.
Okay, tunica albuginea.
Tunic vagina.
The tunica albuginea is
Oh, that's
actually
tunica
gonna push into
albuginea.
the testis.
Tunic albuginea.
And, compartmentalize, make loads.
No, we don't know the vagina.
In the
Oh,
testis.
this one. It's this one right here. Yellow.
Wait, so what's tunica vaginalis?
When the tunica albuginea pushes into the testis and compartmentalizes it, making lobes within the testis, and each lobe will find the seminiferous tubules, which is on our list. So let's see all that. So here we go. We have the
Testis.
So
testis.
disrespectful.
That outer white covering is the tunica albuginea. Did you all see on your picture?
Mm-hmm. Tunic albugineus. Now what about the other one? Vaginalis.
Getting a lot of hands-on experience.
Yeah. It's actually pretty small. What the fuck? It's skinny as a stick.
That's what I was saying. Like, like length to
It doesn't have girth.
to girth ratio isn't here.
Like the look. Yeah, he's right.
There's like a golden ratio for it, but like it's not. There.
Like if it was this side, it needs to be better. It needs to be like that. And then when it becomes
Why is
erect,
it so?
boom, boom, boom.
Why is it so big?
Oh, this doesn't have skin. Look. It has foreskin.
Wait a minute.
No, it doesn't have foreskin.
It does.
No, it's chopped off. 14 would have this piece. I chopped off.
Mine's like that.
Because I don't have foreskin. I have foreskin.
Me too. It's just like.
So you see the other pictures of white
If it
covering?
doesn't have foreskin, it's cut off.
Okay,
I don't want to talk about this.
so when we look at the actual testis dissected, here we
Not
see
chopped.
the scrotum is here. And then the
Slit.
next layer would be the tunica vaginalis.
Tunic vaginalis.
And then here is the tunica albuginea.
Wait, so it's deeper. I'm confused. Is it deeper? I thought it was external.
What is the
Look,
vagina?
this is this is the tunica albuginea, and that is what will covering the testis is it's layer here
Doesn't
is
even
the
look
tunica albuginea.
Doesn't look like
There's the
a model.
tunica vaginalis.
Doesn't I can't tell that.
I guess it's the yellow.
When it comes to testicular cancer, there is common cancer, but it's pretty curable by the removal of a testis that has developed cancer. Okay, and so testicular cancer is a tumor
I
growth
can't
on the
sit down.
testicle. Now, inside of the testicle, we'll find the seminiferous tubules, and that is where sperm is made. The seminiferous tubules lie within the lobules of the testes that are made by the tunica albuginea, pushing into the testes and making compartments that are lobules. Okay. We have a special set of cells here, the Leydig or interstitial endocrine cells. They are within the tissues of the seminiferous tubules, and they're not sperm cells. They are cells that produce testosterone, that male hormone, right? That is necessary
What's that throughout
to
the body?
initiate sperm production. So let's see, we're gonna go through the pathway that sperm would travel. So here we have a pathway, okay? And starting in the seminiferous tubules, sperm will then travel into the straight tubules. This is a seminiferous tubule arrow, which I would write down if I were you. Straight tubules, arrow. Seminiferous tubule, so this is sperm.
The slides are up, right? I'm
This
gonna do
is
this.
sperm of how they travel. Seminiferous tubules, arrow. Straight tubules, arrow. Into the reap testes, arrow. Into the efferent ductals, arrow. and into the epididymis. You have these slides, you don't have to take a picture. You have this down. Okay? And that's not the end of it, but right now we're stopping at the epididymis.
Wait, so it starts from semi-tubal?
Go through the slides, you asked me if the slides, get the slides. Let's go through it. So here we are, there's the testis. Inside of the testis, we have lobules. That tunica albuginea pushes in here, makes compartments, those are lobules. Inside of each lobule is a seminiferous tubule. Sperm is made here. Okay, as they're being made and they are mature, they travel from the seminiferous tubules in through the straight, I'm doing the pathway again, seminiferous tubules, into the straight tubules, thank you, got so many words. This is the second time today I've done this. The straight, straight tubules, right there, and into the reap testes. So the straight tubules merge together to form the reap testes. And sperm is not motile yet, so they're not swimming. They're getting moved into the reap testes. From the reap testes, they travel through the efferent ducti. And then from the efferent ductals, they're in the epididymis.
Yes, this is all in this.
It's fine.
That's all in the testes. When we look at a cross section of the seminiferous tubules, right, we can look into the tubules themselves. The walls of the seminiferous tubules is where sperm cells are made, where they're generated. And eventually they'll make their way from the outer wall and make their way into the lumen.
That's where the seminiferous tubes is where the sperm is.
Where the sperm is made. So here we can see sperm cells in the lumen of the seminiferous tubules. And in the tissues between the tubules are where we find the interstitial endocrine cells, the Leydig cells that produce and secrete testosterone.
You said they weren't swimming yet, right?
Sperm are not swimming yet when they're in the seminiferous tubule. They're getting pushed and waved along. Yeah, they're getting waved along. So, here we are again, seminiferous tubules. These cells here are actually the stem cells that will divide. We're gonna talk about that eventually. And as they divide, they move. And as they move, they're changing. And then finally, when they get into the lumen of the seminiferous tubule, they have tails. So they change drastically. And there's the interstitial endocrine cell that secretes testosterone that is necessary to initiate sperm production. And that's the job of the testes. Okay, and so here's that pathway. And from the efferent ductiles, we enter into the epididymis, and we continue. It doesn't stop until we exit the male body. From the epididymis, sperm travel through the ductus deferens, and then the ejaculatory duct, and out of the urethra. Then they're on the external part of the body. We're gonna find these structures. So let's find the epididymis, the ductus deferens, also called the vas deferens, the ejaculatory duct,
is right
and
there.
the urethra. So
Right
from,
here. Ejaculatory
after
duct,
getting into the
ejaculatory duct, right
epididymis,
here.
sperm stay there and mature. They're stored there, they mature. This is where they become motile, in the epididymis. Now they can start swimming, and this is where sperm cells are ejaculated from the epididymis, not from the testes. Okay? The epididymis has a head, a tail, a body, and a tail. The head of the epididymis receives the sperm cells from the seminiferous tubule. The tail of the epididymis joins into the ductus deferens and delivers sperm after through ejaculation. Will deliver sperm into the ductus deferens. So here we are. Here is the epididymis. You have to look on the top. That's the best place to see the epididymis. You gotta get the top of that model.
Epididymis.
And you'll see the epididymis. You'll see that on your model.
Yeah.
Okay? So
Epididymis.
sperm are made here,
Epididymis.
inside where the seminiferous tubules, inside of the
What's
testes.
this one?
They will be
said
delivered
this was
into the
something.
epididymis here.
This is a urethra, and then this is the ejaculate.
And that's where sperm cells are
Ejaculated.
ejaculated from up
This
into
will keep
the ductus or vas deferens. Can you see that on your model?
Epididymis to
Leaving the
ductus.
epididymis, go right into
To the ductus deferens. So
You're only
epididymis
gonna be ejaculated into
to the ductus deferens. From ductus deferens, it can go in here, and then this is the ejaculatory duct right here. See, it's like inserting and it's exiting out right here. And after that, it enters the urethra, and then boom, it comes out.
Perfect for the
only
This is the spongy urethra,
ejaculation
right?
to sperm cells leave the epididymis.
So when they're just sitting.
They're
So
not
this little
traveling
slit,
through the male
this one,
reproductive tract.
This little jig. Is it this one?
Remember, 60 points are gonna be taken away because of extra credit?
Yeah, I already put mine. This is the only one for
This is normal regular stuff. And I guess I should preface these lectures, this is normal regular stuff. Ejaculation is normal and regular. We're not gonna trip over that word.
What
Too
happened?
grown for that.
What happened?
Normal and regular, regular and normal. So we won't trip on any of these anatomical, physiological terms. Right, future healthcare workers? Right. Okay, here we go. There we are again at the testes. That is divided into lobules by the albuginea, the tunica albuginea. Inside of each lobule are seminiferous tubules where sperm cells are made. From stem cells to sperm cells that will then leave the seminiferous tubules, go through the straight, tubule into the reap testis, and then the efferent ductal into the head of the epididymis. And from there, they will mature and begin swimming, be able to swim. They become motile, meaning their tails will be able to whip. But they won't go anywhere until they are ejaculated out of the tail of the epididymis and into the vas deferens. Does everyone see the vas deferens on the model?
Bands of
It's
deferens.
leaving the epididymis. Here's sperm cells in the lumen of the epididymis. The epididymis has nutrients that it secretes in order to take care of the sperm. So the lining of the tubules of the epididymis are covered with stereocilia. So these are cilia that don't wave, they just are there and they're secreting nutrients, okay, for the sperm cell. No, they do not. And the vas deferens that is leaving the tail of the epididymis travels through a structure called the spermatochore. Let's see, the spermatochore is in the inguinal canal, so that's in the crotch. So right in the crotch, we all have our inguinal canals. Inside of the male, the spermatochore travels through the inguinal canal, containing the vas deferens, as well as blood vessels. I'm gonna go back to the picture of that. I'm gonna move fast here so we can see a good picture of the spermatochore. So here's the spermatochore. And within the spermatochore, the vas deferens travels, leaving the epididymis. Blood vessels come in and leave and service the testes. Okay. Nerves travel through the spermatochore. This structure here that runs through the inguinal canal. Okay, I'm gonna move fast, so don't get this.
Eat it.
Okay. So here's the vas deferens that will leave the tail of the epididymis and run into the abdominal cavity of a male. So runs anteriorly into the abdominal cavity and then turns back and runs posteriorly behind the bladder. So here it is coming behind the bladder on both sides. There's two ductus deferens. Vas deferens, interchangeable. They run behind, so they come up, go back behind the bladder, and then they meet up with the seminal glands. on the backside of the bladder. And they merge together, forming the ejaculatory ducts.
See, look. Those are
Is
out.
that on our list, ejaculatory duct, which I don't think we'll see on this model?
So is that the same thing, seminal gland, the same thing as vessel?
No. Seminal
What's
gland
the
is
ejaculatory duct?
seminal gland.
I don't.
Okay, the ejaculatory duct is this thing right here. This little piece right here. You see
Okay.
that?
I thought you said that was something
And so
else.
as the ductus
No, this
deferens
is
makes its
urethra,
way posteriorly
ejaculatory duct.
behind the bladder, again, it will meet with the seminal gland.
I thought you said you
And
went
together,
over
they will form the ejaculatory duct. The seminal gland produces secretions that it will add to the sperm as they're traveling through the duct, the vas deferens. The seminal vesicle is secreting its secretions. And now we're starting to change sperm cells by themselves being mixed with nutrients and other components. And that is the production of semen. So semen is sperm plus all of the secretions from the glands that contribute to the male reproductive tract. Okay, so we'll talk about what that stuff is. Okay, so see that vas deferens leaving the epididymis, making its way behind. You probably see this on the lid again. Yep, making itself, and then on the back side of that lid, you got this. On the back side of the lid, so I'm trying to share the lid. Back side of the lid, you see the seminal gland.
Seminal gland.
The seminal gland, seminal vesicle.
Seminal gland right here, look.
That is not, no.
So you have this, whatever
Seminal
duct this
gland.
is, seminal gland, and then they inject together right here. You have the ejaculatory duct right here. And it's gonna go into the urethra. The seminal gland.
Same thing, so your list says
You know that.
seminal vesicle, same thing as the seminal gland. Okay, and that is on the back side
Same thing as
of
seminal vesicle.
the bladder. You see
Do
that?
we have to go with kidney or no?
That little
No, right?
No.
We're gonna do that.
vas deferens traveling all the way there to the bladder.
Are we?
She said we're gonna do it,
Oh.
but we didn't even go over it.
You never went over the kidney.
Is this part?
Okay, I'm gonna record every model after.
Gland. See the seminal gland?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Right.
Look different from that perspective.
There, and you see the bladder on your model, and how the vas deferens goes back behind it.
Yeah, where's the bladder? This one?
Everyone see the bladder on their model?
Maybe
And
so.
probably of the lid, the best place to see it is on the lid. You take the lid off, this is the bladder open.
It looks the same as
Look
that.
inside.
Actually, this is the
of
bladder.
The bladder.
Yeah.
This is the bladder.
And there's that ductus deferens traveling to the back side of the bladder to meet up with the seminal vesicle that's here. Sorry, it's not labeled. But then they merge together, the vas deferens and the seminal vesicle, to make the ejaculatory duct. So here's an actual ductus or vas deferens traveling through. Here's the spermatophore. Now let's talk about the urethra,
So when they do it, vasectomy, is that what they're cutting?
the vas deferens. So, yeah, so vasectomy is the cutting of the vas deferens so that sperm can't travel.
Wait, where's this
But
magnetic hole?
sometimes the vas deferens will come back together, will seal back together, and sperm will travel. It just,
Could you check?
it happens, yeah.
What for gay?
And that's why they say.
What slide were you
They're asking for grade.
Okie dokie. The urethra is the male urethra is divided into three parts.
High B
The
inside.
prostatic urethra, the membranous urethra, and the penile or spongy urethra. The penile or spongy urethra travels through the penis.
Oh, you know that.
Find that part. Travels through the penis.
We're at the end.
Penile spongy urethra.
Okay, let me just.
Penile spongy urethra.
Why doesn't it just show it?
See that? spongy urethra.
We're only at
Let's
the-
take a look at all three parts. So leaving the bladder, we go through the prostate gland as the prostatic urethra. Find that part.
Prostatic urethra.
And then you have a little span of membranous urethra before we enter into the penile or spongy
Membranous urethra
urethra.
right here.
This one?
Yeah, right there. Membranous urethra is right here.
See that?
Yeah, right here. Membranous urethra right here.
This one?
Yeah, just so after we leave the prostate gland, we have a little span of membranous urethra, and then finally into the penile or spongy urethra.
I still don't know where the vaginal is.
I still don't know
Did
yet.
you record that? Record that.
Professor. Vaginalis. It's
It's
vaginal.
fine, just record it. You combine it later.
Professor.
Wait, so is it this part?
Okay, prostatic. Look. Prostatic.
Okay.
Prostatic urethra. And then, okay, when it hits
Remember
this part, when it hits this part right here, right? When it hits this part, this little part right here, is membranous. This part.
Specifically this part?
Yeah, like this.
Well, I was assuming it was this. And
No, it's down. Could look right here. It's like this little part right here.
the slides don't really show it like that.
It's weird because it's different. We still don't know where the vaginalis is.
Tunica vaginalis. It's the layer that covers tunica albuginea.
Oh, it's a yellow.
I don't think it's shown there, unless it's between that and
Yeah, it's
the
between
scrotum.
the scrotum and
Is there a
the.
number on it?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know that it's indicated there.
Wouldn't it be this one?
No,
That's the
epigalis.
epididymis.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. The epididymis.
That's the one you were saying earlier, did you?
Okay,
The ditty.
note, here's the prostatic urethra. Here at the prostate, we also have the ejaculatory duct. You see that extra line there at the prostate gland?
Yeah, right here.
Okay,
That's
that's the
ejaculatory duct.
ejaculatory duct that's made from vas deferens meeting up with the seminal vesicle.
Straight to it.
And that's where ejaculation is from.
The extra curtain push.
Sperm is already, if it's there, it's been ejaculated from the epididymis. All right, let's talk about these accessory organs. Seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and the bulbal urethral glands. The seminal vesicle secretes seminal fluid that is filled with sugar, fructose that's needed to make ATP, citric acid, coagulating enzymes. Now we're talking about enzymes that, like the blood, help the blood coagulate, right? Here, we do that with the sperm as well, so that they don't dissipate, right? We wanna kind of make them clump together and travel together, so that they're not lost, okay? And this seminal fluid makes up the bulk of semen. Now we're starting to make semen when we mix these products from the accessory glands with the sperm. It's no longer sperm cells by themselves, it's now semen. And all of these secretions from these glands are there to take care of the sperm and to help the sperm. For instance, the secretion from the prostate gland, is a little bit acidic, contains other enzymes, contains the prostate specific antigen, PSA, which is what is measured, okay, through blood tests. Men get this measured in order to determine if it's high, that can indicate prostate cancer. Okay, because that means you have an overgrowth of cells that are producing a whole bunch of prostate specific antigen, PSA, and that can mean that prostate cancer is. Okay, where you have again tumor, overgrowth of the prostate cells because of cancer. And so that's why males should get their prostate glands checked for size and also their PSA levels measured. Okay, then the bulbal urethral glands. The bulbal urethral glands actually secrete into the urethra the pre-ejaculate. And the pre-ejaculate is basic, so that it can neutralize any urine that's in the urethra before the sperm get there, because we don't want any acidic environment to damage the sperm. So the pre-ejaculate that's secreted from the bulbal urethral glands travels through the urethra to neutralize any acidic urine. So then it makes the friendlier environment for the sperm cells. And within the semen as well, there are gonna be components that are there that will also, when the sperm enter into the female reproductive tract, that is a harsh environment for sperm, very acidic. The semen has components in it that will protect them in even the female reproductive tract. Okay. So here we go, let's take our trip. We're sperm cells, and we are traveling out of the testes, out of the seminiferous tubules, through the straight tubule, into the retestes, out of the efferent ductals, into the head of the epididymis, chilling out in the body of the epididymis until we are ejaculated out through the tail of the epididymis into the vas or ductus or vas deferens, traveling up into the abdominal through the spermatocord. The spermatocord would be wrapped around this, through the vas deferens, back behind the urinary bladder, and meeting up with the seminal vesicle, and then traveling through the ejaculatory duct, through the prostate gland, where here's the prostate gland, here's the bulbal urethral glands that have already put their secretion in the penile urethra to neutralize any urine in here before the semen get there, before the sperm cells get there.
Kill the bacteria and the acid.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wanna know.
Acid.
Because of the
acid on your acid.
Yes, it will
They
kill the
don't
sperm
want the
cells.
acid, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want the acid.
Yeah.
We don't want the acid to destroy the sperm cells.
That's pretty.
So we neutralize the urine before they get there with the pre-ejaculate that is secreted by the bulbal urethral glands into that sounds like a good question. That sounds like something to ask about, right? What's the job, what is the role of the secretion from the bulbal urethral gland? Neutralize urine.
The urethra.
The urine.
It's just any remaining urine.
In the urethra, so that sperm cells
They can travel through safely, not
are
get
safe and sound as they travel through the penile urethra. Okay, so on this model, you can see that, and on yours too, I think it's best to see that seminal vesicle on the lid, the backside of the lid of this model. Okay, find the prostate gland. Can everyone make out the prostate? Are there numbers on these things?
No.
Okay, everyone see the prostate gland? Yeah? You can see it on both parts of the model. See the prostate gland? See the prostate gland, fellas?
Prostate gland right there.
See the prostate gland?
Right here.
Oh.
Do you see the bulbal urethral gland?
The bulbal urethra, the little dot right here.
Little dot?
Right here. And then the prostate gland, this thing right here.
Yep.
Whoa.
You see the
I know
bulbal
my
urethral
stuff.
gland?
Wow.
This is what? I go through that again.
You guys know So Me?
No.
No.
Never mind. So my boy, he's opening a T4 and he wanted to add something with it.
Is it an Asian guy?
He's Punjabi.
Oh, that's so cool.
Well, he lives in Manteca in the night. You know how nice house is, bro. Oh my god, that area is so nice. So he's opening that. And so he's going to drive from all the way from Manteca to there.
Yo, let me record it.
Okay, this is the prostate gland, okay? Remember, seminal vesicle, gland, whatever. This is the prostate gland right
Okay,
here.
so
And
for
then this
these,
little dot right here is the bulbal
accessory
urethral gland
organs,
right here.
you
This
are
little white
thinking
dot.
about short and sweet functions. Okay?
The seminal vesicle. Was that the Did you do the seminal vesicle?
So find these, make sure you can find these structures.
I don't
For
think we did.
retestes, efferent ductals, all of those, you'll see a picture from the lecture. I'm assuming you're studying these pictures here, and these are the pictures that you would see at a station. For the things that are listed that aren't on the model, the REAP testes, the efferent ductals, the seminiferous tubules. There'll be pictures from the lecture, which should be the same as pictures from the, not too different at all from pictures from the lab manual.
Where's the seminal?
Ejaculatory duct.
Where's the vesicle?
Which vesicle?
The seminal vesicle.
Let's go to the penis,
Yeah, we went
where
through
we
that.
have the root,
Now
the
look at the
body,
penis. Pay
the
attention.
shaft, and then the glans penis, which is the head of the penis.
Seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle.
Spermatocord is on that list. Okay, so we'll go to that picture in your manual where you saw that spermatocord, as well as the picture in the lecture that shows the spermatocord this way, okay? So the spermatocord will be visual on this type of picture, whether, I'm not taking it from here, I'm grabbing from the lecture. Okay, same picture. Okay. Okay,
No, this grammatical.
here we see the erectile tissues. We're gonna see the two in the list, the number 2 and 3 on the list, corpus spongiosum and corpora cavernosa. These are the erectile tissues in the penis. Corpus spongiosum is the erectile tissue that surrounds the penile or spongy urethra. And then there are 2 erectile bodies on the dorsal side of the penis. They are called corpora cavernosa. And these are the tissues that get engorged with blood and cause erection. Okay, so here we go. We're looking at the dorsal side of the penis, which this is the dorsal side of the penis. Here, we will see surrounding the urethra is the corpora cavernosa, spongy, corpus spongiosum surrounds the urethra. And it surrounds the urethra and then it fills the glans penis, the head of the penis. It's filled with corpus spongiosum. You see that on your list?
The spongios.
And then the 2 erectile tissues that line the dorsal side of the penis are the corpora cavernosa. And so if we do a cross section through the penis, we will see surrounding the penile urethra is corpus spongiosum. And then we'll see these 2 structures of corpus corpora cavernosa. Cavernosa plural, so there's 2 of those. Okay, and again, those line the corpora cavernosa, there are 2 of them on the right and left. They line the dorsal side of the penis, and then corpus spongiosum surrounds the spongy urethra, and then fills the glans penis. Again, these are the erectile tissues. You can see them there.
You said both of them were responsible for
That's right. So both of those sets of erectile tissue get engorged with blood after some innervation by the nervous system. Okay. And then upon ejaculation, semen is released. Okay. The sperm cells get ejaculated from the epididymis and then mixed with all the products from the accessory glands to make sperm or semen, and then that comes out at the glans penis. Okay. I'll let you read about erectile dysfunction. And those are our structures for, let's make sure that we know the root of the penis, okay, is here. So you have the root of the penis, the body of the penis, and then the glans penis, the head of the penis, okay? And those are the male structures that we must know on that model, okay? And then we're gonna continue to talk about more that we need to, let's see. Let's go to it. Okay. Let's talk about this in lecture, sperm development. That's gonna be additional on our lecture test, so we'll talk about that. Okay, let's do stamps.
He had